This is not where I want to go. This is not where Elmira goes. So, welcome to another edition of Healing is War, where we delve into the shadows of starting your healing journey. On this edition, we are discussing money parasites. The first one, I'm going to go into it because a parasite, again, is something that's using you as a host. And they can be energetic, they can be physical, all of this thing. The first one was my ancestors. I began to recognize it wasn't always my beliefs that were holding me back with money. It was what my parents thought, what my grandparents thought. So I was raised in rural New Kent. I lived in Norfolk, Virginia for a while. So my mom had certain ideas about money. My dad had certain ideas about money. As a matter of fact, we didn't talk about money. If truth be told, from what I remember, money came up at church. And you know what that conversation was. The conversation was, oh, give your tithes, but we did not learn what money truly is. How should I spend it? How should I invest it? The most that I learned was go get a job. Go get a job. You can earn money to get you wages to make you live, to allow you to live. And I'm not blaming anybody. I just had to identify that was a parasite coming from my ancestors. And not only that, not just from my parents. I lived in the house at one point with my grandparents, with my grandmother, and my other grandparents, on my Loftin side. I picked up things from them. I even picked up things in my DNA. And this is questions for you. What's in your DNA? From people who died prior to you, because that's one thing I learned as I was doing the work. People started showing up spiritually in my dreams. There was one time, let me tell you about something. One time, and this was about 3 to 4 years ago, I had a dream, and the dream was saying, please identify all of your ancestors who had a wealth consciousness, and only four came to mind. And I'll name two of them because Elmira is all about truth. One of them was my Aunt Josephine, and one of them was my Uncle Kenneth. And I'm going to tell you why I know they showed up in that dream. Uncle Kenneth was the one who gave me and my other siblings money when we went to college. And if I would have been smarter and didn't have these parasites, I would have invested it better. But at the time, I went with what I knew. He gave us money recurring on a monthly basis. So he was in my history, but to only identify four people. So he was one of them. And then my Aunt Josephine, she showed me a wealth consciousness because she was all about legacy, history. She built her own house. Back in the I don't know, the 1940s and the 50s, she went up to DC and New Jersey for a better life. She was sporting an afro when everybody said, oh, what are you doing? You wearing your hair like that? They were like, oh, you too risky. But that goes to show you, you need to identify what's going on with your parasites, your ancestors, the people in your family, because often these thoughts are not yours. They're other people's beliefs being instilled on you because you grew up in the house with them. You learned the same religion as them. You ate the same food as them. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, parasite I had to clean up was the spending parasite. Let me tell y'all something. I labeled myself, I don't know if anybody else labeled me the catalog queen, but I'm going to tell you, I label myself the catalog queen because I was always shopping from J.C. Penney, Chadwick's, and people might say, "Oh, that's good, Elmira. You had no problem spending. You knew you had the money. You knew it was coming back to you." It did turn out to be an issue because I wasn't really being taught. If you purchase something, you might have to pay it back with the credit card. Because I had a credit card in college with no job. Granted, I had a job during the summer, but and I was still buying shit from the catalog. Catalog queen. That was a spending parasite I had to fight. and ask myself, why was I always spending? Why was I only spending, not investing, not starting a business, not understanding why I was spending? And some of the reasons I was spending was just to feel good. It was emotional spending. It was to look good on the outside, because I can recall days growing up as a middle schooler saying, why can't I get the Guess jeans that my classmates have? Or why can't I have LA gears that they have? There was a sense of jealousy. So when I got the money, that spending parasite, she showed up, she or he, I'm just giving it a gender, but it don't have to have a gender, showed up and was like, spend me, spend me, spend me, because that's how you have your worth. Ask yourself this: do you have a spending parasite that's dictating your behaviors and saying, go to the concert so you can show off, not because you enjoy the concert. Oh, go get the Gucci bag so you can show up. Go get the BBL so you can show off. Why are you spending? Are you spending because it's in your heart, it's part of your soul mission? Or are you spending because of the parasite? Okay, number three. Savings is a crock. Okay, some of the financial experts ain't gonna like what I say on this, but I gotta speak to this fact, and I'm gonna bring this up in one of my other parasites. But I'm gonna point this out. As black folk, I'm gonna say this because I'm quote unquote black. And we are taught to save. Save your money, save your money. Nobody tells you start a business. I'm not saying nobody, but for the most part, the majority of the population, you are not taught. And I wasn't taught start a business. I learned that on my own. I would say I learned that because I did see some examples in my family, and innately, intuitively, I was like, this shit ain't for me. I'm trying to work over here at the hotel, the TV station. They trying to pay me peanuts, trying to make me work overtime for what? No, but savings again is not it. Because they don't even pay. I was just listening, like I said, I was listening to Red Pill and Brother Haru talking about, and y'all already know this. The banks, to save money, pay you 0.01%. Yes, there may be things like Ally Bank, which I do have an account like with them, and some other banks that give you a greater percentage, but savings is not it. Because what, as one of my money coaches said, she said, what are you saving for? Oh, and some of us will say, oh, I'm saving for a rainy day. Well, then you're going to get a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? Savings does not, ooh, this is good. This came to me. Savings does not save you. Because if I just have, oh, my all these financial people will tell you, oh, you need 3 months of back pay. You need to save up this in case of, but if you have the belief, and that's the parasite, because when you believe that saving is the only way you can stack up money, that's a poor belief. And I knew that was the parasite for me, because my savings wasn't getting me anywhere. But once I started a business, I started investing in other things, that multiplied, that compounded. But have you been taught just to save, and it seems like you're on a constant hamster wheel? Save, save, save. You save the 200 and you use the 200 in a matter of 2 weeks. You save the 5,000 and you use the, because what intention did you put on the money? That's that parasite. Number four. All right, here was another thing I had to break free of. Was this idea, and this is only because I grew up in a house with five siblings. I have two brothers and three sisters. So you can imagine I shared a room until I left the house at the age of, how old was I? 26, 26, 27, when I finally moved out of my mom's house. Always had to. So the parasite was, that money parasite said, whatever you get, Elmira, whatever you earn, whatever you invest, whatever you create with your business or other entities, you're going to have to share it. And what that parasite was doing to me was saying, don't earn more, because if you earn 100K a year, if you earn 1 million a year, if you earn 3 trillion a year, you're going to have to split it with other people. And that was a nasty parasite, because it was teaching me that my wealth was connected to my siblings. or that my wealth was connected to other people, and that's a lie. I can build my wealth on my own. Granted, I do network, I collaborate, I work with other people, I live with other people. I know all this. But if the parasite is saying don't earn more because you're going to have to share it, that prevents you from being the best version of yourself, from you earning the most money, for you being able to produce and give those funds to your children, your grandchildren, whoever, your business partners. Don't have the parasite. I did. I had to release that one with the quickness. I said, you got to go. So you telling me this what you trying to tell me? The lies. Because all it is, parasites are lies. Because let me tell you how parasites operate. Because they feed off the host, they be gotten you thinking they are you. Let me say that again. You think you are the parasite. You think you are your ancestors. You think you are your spending habits. You think you are your savings. You think you are this idea, this belief, this thought about money. But that's not you. But that's what the parasite got you thinking, all latching on to you. Oh, this, go away. We don't want, oh, and I got my $100 bill right here. We don't want money no more. Don't become the parasite. They are not you. Let them go. Get the. It's like that gospel song. What's that gospel song? It's like, you don't let him ride, he will try to ride. It's about the devil, and it says the devil be on your back if you let him ride. The parasites be on your back if you let him ride. Number five parasite. I had to really let go of this one. The job parasite. And what's wrapped up in the job parasite was this idea of working hard. And yes, that was instilled in me from my parents, and I have a beautiful work ethic. I'm very disciplined, but that's not the way to work money. I was listening to Kathleen Cameron last week. She's one of my mentors. She put on this class called Easy Money, because money is really easy to make. And if you really think about it with yourself, how many times has money just come to you? $250 came to me. $2,500 came to me, and I didn't have to work hard for it. And I can come up with all kinds of examples. $850 came to me. $900 came to me. And this is stuff I've recognized over the years because I've been fighting the parasites. I've been letting them go, and the money flows. $2,200 came to me. It's just, I can keep naming. I can keep naming them all. But here's the thing, money is actually a feminine energy when you break it down. We've been taught that money is logical because we see money as the numbers on the bank account. But that's not money. Money is actually God in action. And what do you know God is? Can you see God right now? You can see the examples of God in the children, in the love, in the people, in the avenues, in the trees, in the bees, and the bird that's out on my balcony about to give birth to the. I got all kinds of stuff going on here, but that's an example of money. Money is feminine. So when we say this thing of, I don't have money in my bank account because I'm not working hard enough, we get into this parasitic behavior of, I got to go get another job. And I'm going to tell you, I did that. I was working myself to the bone. Just even 3 years ago, 2022. Let me tell you what was going on in 2022 for real. I had my massage business, of course, and I've had my massage business since 2009. Working the business. Sometimes I would see clients in my office. I would book chair massage gigs, all kinds of things. So my day could be set up working from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. depending on the day. Yes, I was able to set my own schedule, and I could take multiple days off. I could do whatever I wanted. I had that freedom. But I also had this parasite thinking of, you got to work hard to make more money in this business, Elmira, to make more money. So again, let's go back to 3 years ago. I would work that job. I started working at Waffle House overnight. I was working 2 nights a week at Waffle House from what? When did I go from there? From like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. overnight, which meant I wasn't sleeping. Then I would do Instacart as well. I was doing all this shit because I believed that I could work harder. Even as an entrepreneur, we have this hustle mentality because that's the parasite that's been ingrained in us because we don't know the true nature of money. Why would a society who wants to capitalize on your ignorance teach you the true value of money? They reserve that for the people who are willing to raise to the frequency of the money. And the frequency of the money, again, is very feminine. It's God, it's ease and flow. I have a name for money right now. I call her Lisa Love. And I'm like, Lisa Love, I thank you for everything that you do because we haven't even been taught to have a relationship with money. We hate money because we say it's too hard to get. I got to work 60 hours. I got to get another job. My kids want this. The inflation, the stuff is going up. It's too much. And yes, all of that is a reality, but most of it comes from our parasitic thoughts about working harder. Change your belief. And here's the thing too, recognize what your belief is and where it come from. Goes back to number one. Where did that thinking come from? Your ancestors, your parents, how you grew up, the television, the movies, what we were taught was a lie. If you don't know anything right now in 2026 and beyond, a lot of the stuff we were taught was a lie. The educational system. And you can feel it in your spirit. The government, the church. We got people raping boys and molesting little boys and girls at the church, the pastors. You think they teaching you the truth about money? Telling you to work hard? No, go and study a book about money. And speaking of books, this was one of the books that really helped me. It's called The Having by Shu Yun Lee and Ju Yun Hung. I was introduced to this book from my Thinking into Results coach, Eva Pierchek. This book is all about gratitude, but it goes beyond gratitude. It's saying, I accept what I have right now. And because I'm going to buy something, I have it. I'm not buying stuff that I don't really want. Oh, I'm just getting those blue jeans because they look great or they look, somebody else had them on. No, do you want the blue jeans? The having. You got to have gratitude and you got to have love and you have to appreciate and you have to feel the energy, the ease and the flow of what you possess, of what you have. Let go of the stinking parasite that you got to work hard. Because here's another thing I discovered along with this. Many of us think if we don't work, we will have nothing to do. That's a lie. That's another parasite. Because do you understand that you were born rich? You can sit and be and walk around and laugh and joke and play, and you're supposed to be able to eat. You shouldn't be slaving 60, 70 hours a week just to eat and drink water, mind you. Human beings have not always paid for some damn water. This shit don't make sense. Y'all know it don't make sense. Okay, that was number five. Number six. Number six parasite. This was I'm gonna call it the hyper independent parasite because it said, and again, I mentioned it before, I grew up in a big family, so I did depend on my siblings. I know to collaborate and network and teamwork and all of those great things, but I also believe when it came to money, I had to do it on my own because that's what we were taught. Go get your job. Go get your college degree. That's your money. Your money. If you got money, nobody else got money. Don't you be asking me. And I'm just telling you stuff that I was told. Don't you be asking me for no money, Elmira. Because you didn't save your money. You don't get to ask me for no money. But listen to this. Has this been stuff you heard or stuff you said to other people? So no wonder we got stinking thinking about money because we tell people not to operate as a community. We've told people this individualistic way of thinking because that's America. And it's not just America, it's other countries all across the world too. Because I know we got people listening all over. And you know how this got, oh my goodness, 3 years ago. Well, really, it started 10 years ago, but then more so 3 years ago. I had to get over that parasite and I had to realize I had it because I didn't even know. Let me tell you one of the instances where it crept up. I got sued in 2016, 2017 from a former landlord for my business. And at that moment, I was destitute. I was feeling so anxious, so scared. My life is over. My business is going to end. I'm not going to be able to serve my clients. This woman who's lying and suing me. She's going to win. I'm going to go to jail. You know, the thoughts just keep running and running and running. And it took me some days or weeks to ask my family to assist me with the funding for the lawyer. I had some of the money, but I didn't have all of the money because when it was like all said and done, I had to pay 10K. But that parasite was there saying, you shouldn't ask for help. You should be able to do this on your own. Ask yourself, is that one of the parasites showing up with you when it comes to money? Oh, woman, I'm speaking to my ladies here. You should be able to do this on your own. Don't ask for help from your parents. Don't ask for help from your friends. And I'm going to tell you, it came to a head in 2023. It was around this time. It was April that I moved down here to Atlanta to be closer to my boyfriend. I lost it all. I was evicted from my massage office. I was evicted from my apartment. I had to ask for help because that summer I broke down even further. There were more wars I had to fight with the parasites of not asking for help. I remember sending out a message to so many people saying, I'm in between jobs. This is a rough time. And mind you, in all of my 40 something years, I had never asked for help like that. But God was showing me, money was showing me, you need a new relationship with money, Elmira. I broke down and did it because it's the actions we take that help us win the war. You don't win a war by not facing the shadows, by saying, oh, I'm going to do it all alone. Because I'm telling you, at that time when I had to ask old friends, I sent an old friend I hadn't even talked to was like, I need your help. And thank God for her. She sent me $60. One of my people from church, I call him a friend, cousin, deacon, whoever, Mr. Arthur. He sent me money by way of my sister. My mom helped me. All kinds of people helped me. Friends helped me because during that time I couldn't even pay. I had hired some massage therapists for a job. It got that bad I couldn't pay them. And I had to wait to pay one of my employees. And I thank him for his patience and his understanding because I was fighting the parasite. You want people in your corner while you're going through this healing journey, this spiritual journey with money, with whatever, who are going to support your elevation. They're not going to crush you down and say, oh, you don't deserve the help. Oh, you should have fixed it. You should have not did that. I heard that too. Matter of fact, I heard that from my mom. It was almost like you shouldn't have been in this situation. So in all the years, but this is how money operates. Money can go up and it can go down. So you're saying in all the years that I was doing well, and now the one time I need help, I shouldn't be asking for help. See, that's a parasite, y'all. Because some of your parasites may be people close to you, people in your family that you don't know, or it would be revealed their beliefs about money that are not yours. Okay, that was about asking for help. Number 7, I call this the credit debt parasite. Let me tell you what I mean. I used to believe that getting credit or being in debt was bad because I attach my name to the debt. Elmira is 20K in debt. Elmira has a 540 credit score. And truth be told, that might actually be my credit score right now. I don't even know. My credit score used to be in the 700s, but with all the financial stuff that happened, the money parasites, it dipped. But do I care? Because I released my attachment. That's what some of you need to do. You need to release your attachment to. I gotta pay for my car. I'm in debt to so because this is what some of these financial gurus who are just only looking at the logic nature of money, not the spiritual nature of money, teach you. They say debt is bad. Somebody like Dave Ramsey, he'll say, "Oh, you got that. That's bad." Nothing is bad. There's something called the law of polarity. Nothing is good or bad in this world because it's just two sides of the same coin. All I need to do, if you see debt is bad, if you let's really look at this mathematically. Let's say you are in debt 20, I don't even know how much I'm in debt because I don't care. And you may be like, Elmira, you're delusional. Has anybody come after me? Because that's the fear, that's the parasite we have. If I don't pay the debt, the church is going to get me, the cops are going to come get me. It's a lie. It's a lie they've been told, telling you to keep you in fear. I might actually be 100K in debt, but the truth is they be releasing that stuff. So many of my debts have been discharged because I'm not attached to the debt. My worth, my beauty, my joy, my essence, my God nature does not depend on credit or debt. Let me say that again. My God nature does not depend on credit or debt. I've lost it all. When you've lost it all and you've been in the battle with the money, you've been in the battle with the finances, you learn that none of that stuff means a hill of beans. It don't mean shit. My credit score don't mean nothing. They're telling y'all to live for your credit score. That's the stupidity. Oh, but you can't have nothing, Elmira. You ain't got no house. You ain't got no car. You ain't got no. Why are you attaching yourself to these material things? I'm material like anybody else. I love richness. I love wealthy, luxurious things. But my worth is not in that. So the lie is that credit is bad and debt is bad. Oh, let me go back to what I was saying, the scale. Let's say you're 20K in debt and they're saying it's a negative. No, that means you actually have 20K because somebody gave you 20K to fund your dreams. When you look at it that way, you're like, oh, because if you were not worthy, you were not credit worthy, they would have not given you the 20K anyway. So you actually have 20K. It's not that you were 20K in debt. You were afforded 20K to build a business, to fund your home, to pay for medical bills for your daughter, whatever it is. Okay, number 8. We're moving right along. I had this parasite that said it was not good to invest in me on a higher level. I got over that in 2022 when I began investing in myself to the tune of a 6K program, a 10K program, a $500, because I learned to really say, what is this money? Why am I thinking small? Why am I just on this temperature of only earning 4K a month? I'm getting what I asked for because a parasite said you cannot earn more. You're not supposed to earn more than this person in your family, than this person you know, but it was all a lie. I'm a millionaire. Why would I think less of myself and not invest in me? Because I'm going to tell you, all of the things I've invested in monetarily has given great rewards. Is why I'm sitting here today on this podcast because I released the parasites. If that parasite was still attached to me, I would have only been investing $50. I wouldn't have had the boldness, the authority to speak here to you and say these things that a lot of people will not say and say it with my rich voice. That money that I put in cycles over and over and over again. And I thank you for one of my sisters for helping me. She was one of my biggest investors during that time. I thank her because she's able to see the return. Number nine. All right, I'm going to talk about this a bit. I had to learn, this was a parasite, money and sex are the same thing. Okay, what do they teach us about sex? Nothing. Like, truth be told, unless your parents or you go to a school where they're really teaching you about the true spiritual nature of sex, the creativity of sex, the vulnerability of sex, the fertility of sex, you don't even know the true nature of sex. So we teach money in the same way. We teach money as this physical thing. It's something you earn. It's something you got to go get a job. And if you get your money is low, you're a bad person. Or you got to be, or we teach that the rich are better than us or the poor are worse than them. It's just so freaking messed up. But here's the truth. Both sex and money are super spiritual in nature. They're from God. Mind you, how do we get children? We get children through sexual intercourse. We create through sexual intercourse. There's something even called sex magic, where you create wealth through sex. And people are doing this. Some of y'all are doing it unconsciously, and some of you are doing it consciously, where you create through sex. That's it. That's what sex is, a creation. Because if you do not create a physical child, you are creating a child, something. You are birthing an idea. You are birthing health. You are birthing a vision. You're birthing something when you engage in sexual intercourse. And they don't teach you this before you start having sex, because if they told you the true nature, the true power, because this is where it comes from. That's an unempowered parasite that's saying sex is only this. It's bump, 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 what they might show you in pornography. It's not. Or they tell you money is only this. Go to the casino and you can earn big money. Win the lottery, you can earn big money, but nobody tells you. I'm saying nobody, but I'm not saying it's zero people. Most will not tell you the true nature that money is easy to make. It comes in all forms. And when you understand the spiritual essence, the feminine nature of money, you will rise in love with it. You got to know that. I had to get there. I had the wrong perception of what money even is. Again, money is God in action. Who, what do we experience as God? Everything. So if God is everything, money is everything. Let that sit. Let that marinate. Money is everything. It's in the love of your child. It's in your home. Money is your voice. Money is the wind. Money is education. Money is your eyesight. Money is your sexual energy. This is even discussed in Think and Grow Rich, sexual mutation chapter. Read that chapter because that's all it's about. And I want to give you a real life example of this because I've even seen it in my relationship. I'm going to speak on the surface and then I'm going to speak specifically. Most men start earning more money when they get with a woman. Let me say that again. Most men, look at the men who are doing well in your life, the men who are doing well in the public, they earn because they get with a woman. Because a women, we are channels for wealth. We are channels for creation. I've even seen it with Terrence. We be getting random checks over here because it's me who's bringing him the random checks. And you're like, Elmira, how could you be so arrogant, so bold to say that? Because I know how money works. Because my energy allows the money to flow in other ways because I've cleaned up the parasites. If I was still in the thinking of my money has to only come through one channel, Elmira got to rip and run in the streets to get the money. No, sometimes the money may come through him. Women, your money is coming through your husband, maybe. Your money is coming through your boyfriend, your partner. Look at it, like examine that, be aware because of you. $700 check showing up. I'm telling you stuff that has really happened in this house. $2,200 check showing up. Oh, they paying you for, and I'm just over there saying, yes, it's working. Okay, let's move on. Number 10, because we're almost to the finale of the list. Number 10, the race parasite. Let me talk about this because we got to address it because so many people will be like, oh, racism doesn't exist. There's no truth to that. No, in this world, we still have a construct that says melanated people like me should not earn a certain amount of money. And matter of fact, we've been taught collectively that we should be poor. Let me say that again. Collectively, melanated people, especially if you grow up Christian, which many of us have across the world, have been taught you should not have money. Meanwhile, your pastor up there got the money, wearing Gucci suits and Louis Vuitton bags, and he riding the Bentley and the jets and all. What kind of foolishness is this? Y'all riddle me this. How in this that's a place I don't want to be in, where only the person at the top is wealthy and the constituents or the compatriots are struggling. But race is a huge, 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 huge parasite I had to conquer, especially as a business person. Because I've been in rooms, I've been in circles with all kinds of people, old white men, old white women, places where I'm only, they would term me a little black girl. I'm sitting here 30 years old, 40 years old. Oh, the little black girl is here. They don't know that. They know I'm intelligent. They know sometimes they know who we are because we don't know our own power. Again, this is a parasite. What have you been taught about your race, your ethnicity? Because this could apply to you in a different way. I'm just only telling you my personal encounters. There were beliefs that I couldn't make it because I'm a black woman, because I was taught what I was taught, what I was shown, and what I believed I shouldn't be. Because even in the black community, these days it's taught, even my dad would say some of this stuff. Women should not earn more than a man. You should follow your man. Your man is the leader. So what does that say? If the man is the leader, that makes the woman who she might actually be the top earner because that's just her. She's an easy money maker. She can make 1 million a year. She can make 700K a year. Why does that make the man any less? But this is a race thing where they've even said the black woman is holding the black man down because she's earning so much more. No wonder y'all being too masculine. Y'all out there being all ambitious and doing this thing. But no, let me tell you this. There's a way to be feminine in nature, still receiving, still being in ease and flow, and receiving money. Because again, we said it, you do not have to work hard to earn a lot of money. Because your money could be coming through other channels. You'd use your spiritual gifts. Nod to somebody like Vicky Dillard who teaches this. Your spiritual gifts will bring you money, and you do not have to be over there slaving at nothing or slaving for nobody else. You slaving for yourself. But that was that race parasite. Clean that up, people. If you got ideas about who you are as an identity, examine that. Where did those thoughts come from? Are they your personal thoughts, or is it something that society or somebody else put on you? The final thing, the final parasite is the B. I'm going to call it the be real parasite. I was told this many times. Oh, Elmira, you're being delusional. That could never happen. Be sensible. Oh, why would you think you could earn that amount of money? Why do you think you can make, and this was at a time that I didn't fully believe it. Why you think you can make 1K in a week on your own? And this is in addition to other work or funds that I was able to bring in. Be real. Be logical. Oh, none of this stuff is possible. No, everything is possible because money is God. But if you're attached to the be real parasite, it only gets you trapped in what you can see. God, money operates in what you cannot see. Let me say that again. God and money operates in what you cannot see. It's a spiritual thing. Religion gets you in the trap of, oh, it's not on. Even religion is not all spiritual because it just teaches you to follow stuff by the book. Do this, give your tithes. Da, da, da. But if you recognize that your tithes, putting it in this place, is not giving you anything, and that's what I noticed. I wasn't getting anything back by giving my tithes to that church. So I started giving my tithes to other things. So now what I do, and people may say, "Oh, that's not sensical. It don't make no sense." It makes sense to me. I give my tithes to the DoorDash driver. So every time the little thing pop up and it says, and this is after it's been delivered, they say, "Do you want to give your driver an extra tip?" I do it almost every time. $1, $2. That's a tithe. But if you've only been taught one way and you can't see or undo the parasite that says be real, do it this way, follow this pattern, follow this rule. Rules are meant to be broken. I like breaking rules. I'm a rule breaker. I'm a free spirit. You should be too. That's the war I had to fight because once I learned, okay, this ain't working for me. Why am I doing it? But the other way is working for me. Like I'll send people cash apps. I'll send people gifts. That's my version of tithing. That's my version of sharing and spreading the wealth. So that was all 11. I will wrap this up by saying, why do we hold on to these money parasites? The main reason is we enjoy being a host because it feels good to be in community with other people. We've talked about it here on this podcast before that on your healing journey, spiritual journey, sometimes you're going to be alone because people just don't, they're not vibrating with you or they're not ready to go with you, and that's okay. But you love being a host, you love being in community. It just feels good to be with your family. It feels good to believe what everybody else believes. It feels good to be in the crowd. It don't always feel good to be the leader. It don't feel good, always feels good to speak the things that other people are afraid to say. It don't feel good to lose everything when other people are like, let me just stay safe. Let me stay comfortable. No, I'm willing to take risk. Question is, are you willing to take risk? We always leave you with some soul work, and I'm only going to give you one piece of homework. We're not going to give you a whole lot because I'm that type of teacher who sometimes if you're given too much homework, you ain't even going to do it. But my only homework for you today, your only soul work is identify one parasite, one money parasite that exists in you and write down a step to change it and then do it. Let me repeat. Identify one money parasite that exists within you. What are you going to do to change it? And then activate it. Start doing something. Like all of the examples, all the 11 examples, I activated them. I did some action. I didn't just sit and say, oh, woe is me. My parents thought this. What did I do about it? What are you going to do? We're in the time of action. We're in the age of Aquarius. This is no longer about belief. This is about knowing and acting. If you didn't know it before, if you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. Ooh. I don't know why that song came to mine, but that's it. If you don't know it by now, you ain't gonna know it, and you gonna get trapped, and you gonna stick with these parasites, and they gonna continue to use you as a host. Do you want to be a host, or do you want to be free? It's your choice. Remember, your soul is calling you to greatness. You are a soldier. You are ready for war. Again, my name is Elmira. I am your host here on Healing is War. We will see you next time. Goodbye.